Oh, good morning, everyone. I'm Vivian King and I'm the President of the SkyTrain, and I will be hosting today's special event to celebrate the completion of new Westminster Station upgrade. I would like to start by welcoming Rendeep Surrey, Member for Parliament Surrey Central, Peter Fassbender, Minister of Community, Sports and Cultural Development and the Minister responsible for TransLink, Kevin Desmond, the CEO of TransLink, Councillor Bill Harper, City of New Westminster, along with invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. New Westminster train station first opened in 1986 as the terminus stop of the Expo line. It has since been a critical component in the regional transportation system. After 29 years of service, it is important and timely to reinvent and perform necessary station upgrades to the elements of this station so that we can keep them in a state of good repair. The station upgrades improve capacity, safety and accessibility, along with community integration and our customers' comfort. These upgrades would have not been possible without the support of the Government of Canada and the Province of British Columbia. Thank you to each and every one of you here today and helped us to get to this wonderful station. A very special thank you to the rail staff and TransLink staff that have worked tirelessly to get this station up and running. And frankly, thank you and that's our wonderful system running live for you. So back to my very special thank you to staff of the rail company, the TransLink staff, and who have tirelessly worked to get this station where we are today. And finally, thank you to the construction and the project team for all their cooperation and helping customers move along during construction. I am honoured to be joined here today by our speakers. Rendeep, if you would be so kind as to start us off with a few comments.
Good morning or good afternoon. Thank you for that kind introduction, Vivian. It's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate the completion of the new Westminster SkyTrain station. Renovations of this station focused on customer safety, community integration, including the replacement of the elevator, the escalators, new lighting, and the installation of glass panels and artwork and painting all around. I'm proud that the Government of Canada has contributed over $2 million to support this work through the Building Canada Fund. Our government recognizes that investing in infrastructure is essential to growing the middle class and equipping municipalities with building blocks that need the support to support a high standard of living for Canadians and their families. Far more than just bricks and mortar, it's the means by which we keep our drinking water clean, protect the environment, get people to work and back home safely and efficiently, and make sure those that are in need have affordable housing. We know that Canada's infrastructure demands have outpaced investment for decades. And make no mistake, underfunding infrastructure has a cost, and it's substantial. It contributes to the traffic congestion that stifles the productivity of workers and our businesses. It contributes to boil water advisories that affect our entire communities. It means that our seniors have a harder time accessing essential services. It means that Canadians can't find quality childcare or affordable places to live. These are the reasons why we've been working with our provinces, territories and municipalities and other partners across the country to design a long-term plan that meets the real needs of our community. In Budget 2016, these are These are good interruptions. In Budget 2016, we launched the first phase of our infrastructure plan. This initial phase makes vital and too often neglected repairs to our aging pipes and roads, buildings, and refurbishes affordable housing and upgrades a 70-year-old signaling system in our subways. In fact, last June, the Prime Minister joined with the BC Premier to announce an agreement that will make more than $900 million in funding available to support public transit projects across the province. They also announced approval of 26 projects that will increase capacity, enhance and improve environmental outcomes of public transit systems, including projects for the Greater Vancouver region. For example, more SkyTrain vehicles for Expo, Millennium and Canada lines, a new West Coast Express locomotive, a new C-bus, and upgrades to stations in Greater Vancouver. Additional investments will make the BC Transit fleet safer for drivers and passengers and make them more efficient. And in October, MP Pamela Goldsmith-Jones was in Whistler to announce funding for a new natural gas compressor and fueling stations to support buses that run on compressed natural gas. Not only will this investment reduce greenhouse emissions, it will also improve operational efficiency. But this is only the first step. Last week, Finance Minister Bill Morneau released the Government of Canada's Fall Economic Statement, laying out the physical framework of our long-term infrastructure plan. This is a huge new investment in Canada's future. We are rebuilding Canada for the 21st century through historic funding infrastructure. Including the money committed in Budget 2016, we laid out the physical framework to invest over $180 billion over 12 years in public transit, green and social infrastructure, trade and transportation, as well as rural and northern communities. This plan provides unprecedented levels of funding in support of projects across the country, projects that create long-term economic growth, build inclusive, sustainable communities, and support a low-carbon, green economy. More specifically on public transit, we are investing in infrastructure that gets people to the services and communities they need to thrive, that reduces travel congestion, and encourages low-carbon transportation. In the coming months, we will continue to work with our partners to ensure that the successful implementation of our first phase of investments to support public transit are done. And we will continue to discuss and collaborate with provinces and territories to finalize the details of our long-term plan. Together with our partners, we will make transformative investments to build smart, sustainable communities that can meet today's unique challenges and prepare us for a prosperous future for all. I look forward to having a closer look at these stations' improvements and enjoying the outstanding art installation. Thank you.
Thank you, Randib. I'd like to invite Minister Fassbender up to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Vivian. My Compass card works really well, folks. If you don't have one, make sure you get one. It's a great addition to this system. MP Sarai, Kevin Desmond, Councillor Harper, Acting Mayor, I'm delighted to be here on behalf of the province of British Columbia. We're on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish people, and we always celebrate their history and heritage. I want to say this as we stand in this very busy station and we see the activity of the trains, the people. I want to compliment the City of New Westminster for its vision in building a community and using transit as one of the key elements to that. And when you walk around here, you smell the food, you see the activity, you see the residential development. This is what livable communities are all about. And transportation is absolutely at the heart of that in terms of providing people with the options that they need to live in their community, to move around, and to see their community grow and become such a vibrant place. And Mayor Cote and all the members of Council have done a great job in casting that vision. The province of British Columbia, as you know, has invested heavily, billions of dollars in transportation infrastructure, not only in Metro through TransLink and the other things, but right around the province. And the $12 million that was invested in this station through the support of the federal government, TransLink and the province of British Columbia have allowed us to build this great facility and to see it come to life. And I traveled through here on SkyTrain many times, and I know there were people that were saying, when's it going to be finished? It is not as easy because of the construction, but I want to compliment TransLink, all of the people who worked on this project, for keeping the businesses open, keeping access, ensuring that people could still go to their favorite restaurant or to do the other business that they want to do here, and they did a fabulous job in doing that. I know this is an example of the future in all of our communities. On December the 2nd, we're going to be opening the Evergreen line, and I would urge anyone to take a ride on that system and see what's happening in terms of residential and commercial development, and again, emulating the great work that has been done here in New Westminster and seeing what is going to happen along that. And when that line opens, I don't know how many of you know this, it will be the longest automated system in the world. And Kevin, to you and your team, and Vivian, the great work that you're doing in helping people to realize this is one of the most efficient, most effective systems in the world. And that's recognized by people who come here from other jurisdictions. And so I know that we've got a system we can be proud of, and we're going to see it continue to evolve in the future. And MP Sarai, I want to say thank you to the federal government for their vision in investing in important infrastructure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I simply want to say today is another example of all levels of government, TransLink working together to build a system that is going to take us into the future as we see more people choose British Columbia as the greatest place on earth to live. So thank you for this opportunity, Vivian and Kevin, to be a part of this. And I know that we're going to celebrate many more advances in the months and weeks and years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Fassbender. I'd now like to invite Kevin Desmond, the CEO of TransLink, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, MP Sarai, Minister Fassbender, and Councillor Acting Mayor Harper for helping us celebrate the opening of this rehabilitated New Westminster Station. As a resident of New West, I'm delighted that we have this beautiful new facility here to support our customers and the businesses of New Westminster. I'd like to also extend my gratitude in particular to the Government of Canada through the much-needed Building Canada Fund to make this happen. And of course, as the MP pointed out, the new funding from the federal government will be absolutely instrumental and necessary to move our transit agenda forward. And of course, to the City of Westminster for letting us be here and disrupting a lot of activity for quite a bit of time. Without your support, we couldn't have gotten this done. These partnerships are key to enabling TransLink to deliver on its mission of enhancing the region's livability and providing a sustainable transportation network. Important accessibility and safety upgrades will enhance the rapid transit network experience for nearly that is the sound of movement and progress. I love that sound, right, Vivian? These important accessibility and safety upgrades enhance the rapid transit experience for nearly 1,600 passengers who travel through this station each hour, making it easier to connect to and from the SkyTrain and the transit network. Of course, we have our bus services downstairs as well. These upgrades at the stations include, as you can see behind me, the upgraded elevator and escalators to improve access for customers with disabilities, elderly and otherwise infirm. Improved lighting throughout the station, glass panels that replace the existing mesh screens to improve the station visibility and the street level. I think this station, like others in the network, were showing their 30-year age when the Expo line was originally built. This station is one of 7 stations that have either been completed or are under construction or about to enter construction as rehabs throughout our system. Improving the accessibility of the system for all of our customers is key. We have an overcrowded, oversubscribed system now, and these upgrades are absolutely necessary to move us into the next generation of our system. I want to acknowledge some of the people that helped make this happen. First and foremost, the TransLink staff, led by Mark Minson and his group and the project management team that made this project happen. All the other consultant supports to make this project successful, and to First Capital Group for their partnership and support in keeping local businesses open during the construction project. And of course, I want to thank all of the neighbors that have to put up, again, with the disruption and noise associated with the construction project. As both the MP and the Minister said, this is a very, very exciting time for TransLink and transit in our region. We're on the precipice of realizing the first major investments in transit and transportation in almost a decade. As the Minister pointed out, in just a couple of weeks, we'll be opening up the Evergreen Extension, the first major extension of the transit system since Canada Line opened in 2009. And we're now about to, with the mayors and the TransLink board next week, hopefully move forward with the first phase of the next 10-year capital investment in the system and service investments in the system. These changes will help improve the region's livability with almost instantaneous service improvements, first on SkyTrain and Cbus, and then later in the spring on the bus system going forward, and infuse significant new capital funding to start moving forward on more station rehabilitation projects, as well as major rapid transit expansion in the city of Surrey as well as the city of Vancouver. So we're looking forward to getting started with that work. TransLink is an agency that can and wants to deliver. This is an example of how TransLink can deliver on the promises we make to the public. So we hope to see many of you at the opening celebration in a couple of weeks on December 2nd, and thank you for helping us celebrate the reopening of this station here today.
Thank you, Kevin. I'd now like to invite Councillor Harper to say a few words. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you for coming out today, and welcome to New Westminster on behalf of our Mayor, Jonathan Cote, and Council. We're absolutely delighted about the changes that have been made to this station. And basically, we had a whole conversation with TransLink. The consultation was excellent. The kind of input that we had into the changes that were made here were quite prominent. So we're really happy with the way this is developed. Secondly, people got to understand about this station. This station is actually the gateway to New Westminster's downtown. You just look outside the building here, and you see across the street the brand new Anvil Center. You'll see the construction cranes on the waterfront. That's because people want to live by rapid transit in this community, and that's why people are basically flocking to New Westminster. We have 5 SkyTrain stations. We're a small city. We're a welcoming city, but transit is absolutely essential. So, on behalf of the city, we'd really like to thank the federal and provincial governments, Kevin and Peter, for coming to the table for these changes. They're critical and important. And I think we also need to view the transit system in a holistic way by saying, look, let's get the mayor's plan in place so we can actually make these kind of changes right across the Lower Mainland, because when you really look at this site, you can see behind us 3 34-story towers. Those are all condos. And at the end of it, is a 34-story tower that's going to be all residential. It's been approved and it's now under construction. And the only reason it's there, because this station is sitting right here. So the improvements are absolutely essential for the citizens of New Westminster. We really appreciate the work that's been done here by TransLink and both levels of government. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Harper. Well, that's it, folks, and I want to thank you for attending and helping us celebrate the completion of the new try that again. Thank you for helping us. So we've got lots of trains, we move lots of people on a regular basis. Try one more time. So thank you for attending and helping us to celebrate the completion of the new Westminster SkyTrain station. And I have one more duty for our people to help us with, is to put the completion sign on.